1 second and we can begin the show. And here we go. Welcome back to Low Energy Videos. I am, without a shadow of doubt, Low Energy Videos, also known as Dylan Payne, also known as the Great Umbugi, but only to those who really know me. Let's get right into it. Solo play. Oh, and I think at this point you know what game this is. Clearly this is Mario 64. Right. So, let's talk about what I have planned for this week. Jack shit. Now that I've booked off my flight, and I actually booked off a second flight, I'm going to Scotland for my birthday. I finally got that flight and the hotel sorted. I don't like how you can't pay the hotel just the second you get it. You have to wait until like a week beforehand. I was going to London earlier, and earlier this year, I think, or last year. I think it was last year. And sure enough, terrific. Sure enough, I just ended up getting something going wrong with the hotel, so I had to cancel it. Fuck my life, huh? Fuck it right in the ear. Okay, so I don't have any jobs right now, which is good. Of course I don't have any jobs at the start of the game. Welcome to Ali Ring. So, mission board. Basically, I woke up in a really weird mood, which is kind of a shame considering how I woke up. Transport. Might get yeah, I woke up in a shitty mood. What's a galaxy map for this? After a very odd dream. Narimashita gives way to this system, which doesn't even have a little marker thingy. It's 14 light years. Algretta. Okay, so as is tradition. Yeah, I woke up with a really weird dream. I've been telling anyone who's been who's being forced to listen. I'm not gonna even lie. Shizer, I'm not going out there. For 20,000, you're mental. Yeah, okay, so the dream went like this. I don't remember what happened in the early part of it, but I remember I was desperate for work, so I went into a building, turned out to be a prison. I went up to the front desk, and I got a job. Ooh. I want a piece of this. So how many is that so far? 3. Yeah. Okay. So, The gist of it was, I was the nighttime guy. The place was a shithole and kind of creepy. There was no lights. There was like 8 guys to a room. They looked intimidating but really freaked out. They were also all shirtless and really buff. Don't know why I wanted to add that one or why my brain wanted to put that in. But anyway, the gist of it, I think I've been to Ross before. Okay, that's it. Was that I wandered around for a bit, checking in on cells, shining my torch in. Then I found some doctors who were performing experiments on the people, like boring into their skulls. That was fun. They were also doing it in pitch dark too, so okay. Start with this one because it's the only different one. Oh my god, let's see what. Okay. No, no. So, came around for me to go on my break, and there was a little cafeteria, and
Shocking clamps retracted. You may leave when ready.
cook the bullet. How do you, yeah.
Landing gear retracted.
Yeah, that didn't happen. And basically what happened was, I ended up getting talking to the guy behind the bar, ordered a beer, and he said, no, you can't order a beer because you're on duty. And that's what woke me up. Not the torture, not the creepiness, the fact I couldn't drink on duty. So, no matter what, it was still one of my dreams. But I woke up, and this is where I've been dealing with for the rest of the day, and I just fucking cannot stand my, my routine. My daily grind, my 9 to 5. This week's gonna be pretty dull.
You're all clear. You're clear to resume own navigation.
Frameshift drive charging.
What I'd like to do about that, I'm hopefully planning to have a nice dinner on Wednesday. That's about it, really.
3, 2, 1.
I should have gotten my space trucker hat. But, next week, if I get, if I've got enough cash, I might do a walking up video to Drumshambo if the weather holds. The weather's been a little bit, nothing special, but it is technically walkable. Alright, let's see how we can do this. I also might either play Fallout again and take my chances, or I might play, I don't know, I'll have a look at what's on sale. Maybe there's something super cheap. That'll be my next video. At least I think it will. But I should also be able to order my beer club tasting for April. That'll be pretty cool. Shoulda. We'll see if I can. We lived in Shudland. I'd have been able to order a damn drink where I work to help the day go by. Whoa. See that? Try that again. Okay, enough dicking around. Enough dicking around! Oh yeah. Anyone who hasn't seen it yet, I'm in TJ Kirk's video at the end. He wanted us to try say a phrase. I didn't think I'd make the cut, because, well, I'm not so much a Tismite or an edgelord, but I made the cut. Neato petito, as the ancient saying goes. Oh, I did, This is a new design.
Oscar Whiskey, be aware. Weapon fire restrictions are in place in this sector.
That's fine by me. I keep doing that. See what I mean? No! Contacts.
Permission authorized. Proceed to landing pad 01. Clear for automated approach vectoring.
I'm completely out of place. Yeah, so I'll wait until the gets a little bit closer to it, because I was completely out of place. Damn. You can see them fighting off there on the scanners. Jesus! Look at it struggling. Don't tell me I went in the wrong direction. Yep, I went backward. I was taking the station from behind.
Speed restrictions are currently in place. Please comply.
Do you hear that? Anyway, what happened was I was listening to the official podcast, and they had Chris Reagan on.
Landing successful. Thrusters offline. Deploying ground services. The marketplace is accepting donations, Commander. Please stop by.
Yeah, so Chris Reagan was on, and it was an alright interview. Maybe Chris was being Chris, and the official boys were being the official boys. Then Kaya said something that I thought was fascinating. He said he went undercover to talk to an incel. He didn't pretend to be an incel. Instead, he nice. What really happened was that he ended up he ended up having this like 3-hour conversation with an incel, trying to figure him out. And oh my god, the interview itself, him and two friends, one of which was pretending to be a flat earther, but it didn't really go anywhere. It was just fucking insane. Alright, I'll go here next. If I can get the dam, which I can't. So how the hell do I get to, Okay, so what's the name of the... Raw 720. Okay. Whoa. There we go. It's almost as if the galaxy is big or something. No. So F is for down. Yeah, it was just 3 hours of pure high-grade tism. The most tism you could just imagine. This guy was 44 years old. And okay. Let's have a look at the shipyard. No. Outfitting. Dumbass. Oh, yeah, so he was 44 years old. Had this really, really weird lisp. Like, fuck's sake. Actually, it was more like an accent mixed in with a speech impediment. Someone who heard it said that he sounded like he couldn't say his P's. I heard his B's. But he talked incredibly straight. Intoxicated. Guaca. And for 3 hours he was talking about how, you know, no one would ever fuck an old woman or ugly women. That's why hot women kind of deserve it, because they're asking for it, because men can't control themselves, yet men are somehow this mentally superior being to women, because women have white matter brain cells while we have grey matter brains. Grey matter brains, white matter brains. We're talking about societies that are K-type and are R-type. And, you know, people in the comments started to like ask him like really straightforward questions like, are you sure that ugly people can't be raped? And then he goes, yes, because why would anyone want to rape an ugly woman? And then they go, well, my sister is not the best looking woman in the world and she was raped. Which, you know, they could just be lying, but something tells me so many of them said it. I'm pretty sure a few did. Oh, one thing I thought was absolutely ridiculous. He said there shouldn't be any sort of punishment on par with murderers for rapists because of it doesn't hurt them when they have sex vaginally. Now, I think there should be punishment for people who have rectal sex. It's just... I linked it to the Drunken Peasants fan page on Facebook, and it's just wow. Exchange. Oh, and for the rest of the day I was kind of just in a bit of a daze. Maybe I should have gotten the frameshift drive. Damn. I got the best frame life support. I'll get a better one. Oh, exchange. Yep. They don't have any fuel tanks. Yeah. But if I ever hear that like an other kin is going to try to explain themselves to someone who's just going to basically grill them for their most retarded belief systems, you know, a MGTOW or a white woman who genuinely believes in ISIS, which exists. A lot of them do exist. Most of them end up getting shot in Syria. Good. But that's right. Is there only one type of standard? Yeah, there's only one. No. Huh. Okay. Eventually I'll need to upgrade this ship, as in like get a new weapon. Oh, that reminds me, I'll actually get a alright. Where are the shields? Oh, saying that the shields don't count? Optional internal. There, shield generator. An alternative shield generator that sacrifices overall shield strength for much faster recharge rate. It seems like a pretty good shield. Exchange. Alright, enough dicking around. Let's get out of here, Scoob. Not egress. Well, no, egress is a good thing. Jesus. It'd be nice if it told me besides that little dot just there in the corner. We could have slammed into each other.
Landing gear retracted.
Oh, Chaos Gamer, how could you not make every moment of your day about me? I am shocked and a little bit appalled. Just a little. Hiya, man. How you doing? You good?
Advise, traffic restrictions are in place at this facility. Maintain safe separation.
Alright. I'm moving, for fuck's sake. I'm getting out of your goddamn special Smith exchange. You missed my catching up monologue, and it was more or less a monologue because until this goes out as a video and no one's in the chat, I just end up talking to myself.
Frameshift drive charging.
But you're alright. Yeah, so let's see how much money we can make. I should really upgrade my ship to a much better one.
3, 2, 1.
Space truckers. It has a very special learning curve. I always thought like because it's very finicky. Think finicky in the same way that Euro Truck Simulator is finicky. And it is, but I hate to tell this to you, I'm a hauler in this one. So prepare for a lot of dull space travel. I got new shields though, so if we get jumped by anyone, I could at least put up something of a fight. I do love going on sometimes off the beaten track. Oh yeah. And apparently they use like really realistic physics, like the way I have to. For this, I have to get to those blue bars down there in the corner, the distance and speed. I need them perfectly if I want to jump out of frame shift drive or super cruise. I always get the two confused. I think the first one is the Doctor Who thing I just went through, and this is more of a sub impulse. But if you want, you can like set a course, and it'll take you apparently like a year to reach in real time, which is just so insane. What with like how if we get out into space, we're gonna end up just basically carving it up for ourselves and start imposing the same old bullshit, or just like the planets and shit. Because one thing I noticed about this is no asteroids that I can see. There's no like asteroid fields, which I think is a little bit lame. There must be, because you can get like refining tools, so you can go become a space miner. Space miner. Oh yeah, absolutely. You need a special computer just to get near to a planet, or else you're going to get pulled into its orbit. And these stations are so huge, you're going to get stuck in their orbit as well. No, they're not just. Well, there might be blobs of asteroids floating into the void, but for the most part, they're just rings circling around. A star. I know Paul really loves to play this. It's weird. I really like, this is really subtle, but in this game they make space travel purely mundane. More so than I think in a lot of shows. Maybe not, say, Firefly or Mass Effect or something. Oh, this is taking its time. But in this, like, it's just the most humdrum thing. Like when Cars first came out, everyone was like, ooh, wow, oh. Now, you know, no one gives a shit. Oh, a big asteroid, yeah, but you can imagine all those tiny ones be bouncing off the hull. I mean, that happens completely outside of Oh, hey, Chop Topper. Hello, I started my first Sidewinder yesterday. When you activate frame shift, it's huge. Yes, I've noticed that. I'm sure there's some sort of scientific explanation as you kind of leapfrog back into normal speed, but I can't tell. I mean, look at that. That is cool looking. I don't think I've seen that in a long while. The what are they, like comets? But you're right. It's just there's some really really cool moments in this game. Like sometimes if you jump into a system you're not aware of, it turns out the system's core isn't a star, but rather a black hole, and you have to have this huge fight to pull out of it, or else you're gonna get sucked in. So it's sometimes a good idea to by what do you call it? Survey maps. But hell, you can survey it yourself. I don't know how to upload the information though. I'm sure I'm owed a few thousand credits. Some of the ships are so expensive. I don't even know how you're meant to dock them.
Sorgon, Lima, Oscar Whiskey, be aware. Weapon fire restrictions are in place in this sector.
They always have to tell me that. Right. I'm close enough now. I keep on doing that. The controls can get a little bit awkward. Contacts. I need to go to Ready Gateway. Request docking.
Permission authorized. Proceed to landing pad 1.
Auto docking, baby. Auto docking. I love this thing. Docking can be some of the most tricky shit. But it's fairly cheap. You just need I don't think a Sidewinder can hold it, so I upgraded it to my hauler. But my hauler's starting to see better days, so I think it's time I upgrade to the better version of the hauler. But for that, I need cash money.
Landing gear deployed.
I've been floating around in the Federation for a while now. I should be on their good side. I think I'm on the cordial level. It's such a bitch to get like to really, really high levels of respect.
Contact. Engines disengaged.
Okay. Ready Gateway. Ready Gateway. Okay, Starport Services, baby. I think it should have been a little bit more like Wing Commander in one way. I think this game needed to have like a bar. What's the game called? Rebel Galaxy has like a bar area where you can go in, you can get information, and you can hire mercenaries and shit. I think this game needed it here as well. Mission board. Boom data. God, I didn't get a lot of money for that. Oh man, that would be glorious. No Man's Sky, I was so eager for that. I really drank the Kool-Aid. Where are my transactions? I should also find out how much my ship, the one I want to get, is worth. It's like the fancier version of this. I have like a Ford Transit right now. Jesus, this is complicated. Look at all these star systems! Look at them! My God! And this is just one tiny area. I don't know how you can snap back to oh man. This is like the end of No Man's Sky, where it just pulls back and reveals nothing. There's me anyway. Alright, how do you zoom out again? There we are. Look at this. I mean, I could spend years in real time going through just this small area. I like that. I really do, but at the same time, it does give you a sense of just how tiny everything is. You could argue No Man's Sky did too, but you had a goal in that. I mean, all you had to do was just go from here to here, while getting all the resources you need to survive along the way. Okay. Yeah, like you can find soul. Look, there's the soul system. Like, it's kind of a bitch to get to right now. But you actually need I discovered base station. It's called Ising Vision. You can buy a ship, the Anaconda, 4,610. It's possible to earn that amount. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this 14,000. But you also need the you need to be on the good side a lot of times for those amazing ships. Like when you start buying old military ships. Look, actually, I'll go to the. I'll go to the shipyard. Alright, there's the good old-fashioned Sidewinder. There's my hauler. Very good if you just want to start bringing in hardcore money. Not great. Oh, they don't have the good version I'm looking for. Look at that, 1 million. A fucking million. 3 million. Nearly 4. 5. 14. 17. 19. And I've seen them more expensive than 19. I've seen 42. And you've seen 146. If that's the case, then Jesus. Like, fuck's sake. You know? I have both sadness and respect to anyone who earned that. This is the ultimate podcast or live stream in the corner game, Chaos Gamer. This is, Yahtzee said this really well. He said that if you have like 4 or 5 hours to kill, you can just go from point A to point B, point A to point B, while something is playing in the background. An audiobook, you know, that's especially one that isn't like you don't need to really invest a lot of time in. I often listen to history lectures from the Great Courses. Now for our sponsor for low energy videos, the Great Courses Plus. Okay, enough dicking around. Time to earn me some cash money. Sound like Pitmonk there. Sewer. Okay, this I want to go here because it's the nearest, I think. you remember when low energy videos was cool. That's back when the streaming was more real, man. They don't even give me a discount, you know that? For the record, I'd sell out. No Man's Sky is somewhere 2018. No Man's Sky is next. Yeah.
Ship restraints retracted. Follow the greens on your way out.
Alright, alright.
Landing gear retracted.
Yeah, I saw that. It's absolutely ridiculous that they're still updating that piece of shit. They can't repair what's done. I mean, I had fun with it at the beginning until I realized that this is all there was. Like harvesting resources, then going to the next system. Harvesting resources, then going to the next system. I think it was more fun when you were just stuck on one planet exploring it, but there was so little to do. There was just so little to do. Whoop, whoop. Boop, 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 boop. Great. I know they added vehicles, which is something they should have had in, but I know, like, if you remember the trailer, the big space battles, and like there were these 3 factions in constant warfare, and you could help them slowly take over, and how they'd allude to multiplayer, even though it clearly couldn't have. They said like it's so big that technically you could find someone, and it turns out yes, there is multiplayer, but there were so few people playing it. By the time someone found someone, it wasn't worth the time. It became like this urban legend. Is that an AI or is that a person?
Frameshift drive charging.
You are clear to resume own navigation. Safe travel.
Sean Murray's face.
4, 3, 2, 1.
No, there wasn't. But remember how they didn't, how they wouldn't like openly admit that. They would always just allude to it, so people would go and buy the game. It was what did they say in Top Gear? It's ambitious but rubbish. Oh, I did not know that, Chaos Gamer. I did not know that. That actually sums it up fairly well. Let's see, before we jump, can we pronounce this? Chirktondas. Chirktondas. Oh, that's not so bad. Chirktondas. I mean, look at them counting down. 2,100, 80, 70, 60. Oh, for God's sake. Really? It's just... No, I was so pissed off that I bought that game. I ended up selling it and getting... using that to buy Doom 2016, or at least to buy off a bit of Doom 2016. Because already had just dropped down in price.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now there was a fun game. Rip and tear until it's done. I actually might get that down the line, if my computer can handle it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Fucking right. It's like the exact opposite of No Man's Sky in every way, and it's just superior. And the soundtrack. Oh, it's rare that a soundtrack gives me shivers. When they time that shotgun cocking with the guitar riff. Yeah, you knew what type of game you were getting. If I find a black hole... Yeah, but like, I can't just save and then go back. If I die, everything I've done is just being like tossed away. I'll get a little bit of insurance back, but I'll be back to a fucking Sidewinder. Like, there's some real concept. It's almost like a roguelike in a way. I'm still waiting for that damn ship. To find that halfway decent ship. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Reduce power. Reduce speed. Oh, of course. I might even just keep oh, you can't open a second one, can you? Shit. Well, maybe I should spice it up. Burp, sorry. Maybe I should spice it up a little. Like, if I was playing it on my own, this would be cool, but I am getting people watching, and they're really just watching me going from point A to point B. Like, I could mine, I could hunt bounties. Oh, of course, yeah. I don't even know where to find a black hole. The black hole. Yeah. Which doesn't cause any sort of problems, like how time now has no real meaning for me. And I could technically go back in time, but you know, that's entering Vsauce territory, and I might be bald with a beard, but I'm not Michael. Hey Vsauce, Michael here. I think they need to have more types of planets. They've only got like 4 or 5 different types. I am such a novice. Perhaps I know more than... oh, Jesus Christ. I was getting a bit close to that, wasn't I? Perhaps I know a tiny bit more than some people, but... like, Jesus. Physics. I couldn't even finish Stephen Hawking's first book. R.I.P. Chairman. Your robot voice will be missed. I actually almost
Docking request granted.
I almost actually got to meet him once, Stephen Hawking. Or Hawking, so I forget which, Hawking or Hawkins. Anyway, I went up to Tenerife, and, I wanted to go up to the observatory on Tenerife. Like, it's a real famous observatory. And when we got up there, he was coming the next day. But it wasn't so bad. I mean, the observatory itself was glorious. The whole trip was glorious. And they were doing an ad for a bunch of sports cars. So it was like rows and rows of like Bugattis and Ferraris and Porsches all just lying up. It was quite the sight.
Docking successful.
But had I known, I would have definitely gone the day after instead. Enter hangar. No, yeah. There's no real point for me to enter the hangar here. This takes more time than it's worth. Yeah, the whole going back in time and becoming your own granddad. In Super Mario, I think so. I think that's what it's meant to represent. Starport services. There are a lot of there's a lot of things I see on screen. I've been playing this for a long time, and I still have no idea what they mean. Especially when it comes down to this, like the politics of each individual station. Yeah, but then doesn't that also mean you have to? Oh, cool. Oh, I am on cordial. That's alright. Doesn't that also mean then you have to end up becoming your own grandfather if because then you wouldn't oh yeah, yes, yes, yes. I was actually thinking of, I think I was combining that with the Oedipus complex. That's right, and that's where the whole parallel universe things, that like you could argue with the Schrodinger's cat and everything, where there's a universe where the cat's both dead and alive. I actually think that if there is a heaven, it's in some parallel universe. This is a universe where we don't exist. Where it doesn't exist, rather. Okay. Then again, you know, when I die, I might be completely proven wrong, and I'm actually hopefully hope with that because. Because of morbid reasons. Boop. Oh god, that's gonna be a bit of a trip. Okay. I thought I had other... Yeah. Although, I thought he wants us to start... Oh, absolutely. And if it's actually, in all fairness, if it is really heaven, then it's probably going to be even more cooler than he's explaining. I once had a fever dream where I Which, let's be honest here, his version of it sounds ever so slightly like how the Mormons or the Scientologists believe shit is gonna happen. So, just nowhere near as shitty as their versions. But yeah, I had this weird fever dream that all reality was just a ruse, like an organic matrix where we're being fed on, our emotions are being fed on. We're not even people, we're like these balls of biology constantly in a state of agony being fed on by these weird spider dog things. And anytime anyone found out about the reality, they'd send like these versions of the agents to come and soothe us back into normality.
Frameshift drive charging.
I woke up on the wrong side of the bed that day, let me tell you. Oh, it looked so scary. It was like a bizarre blend of I Have No Mountain I Would Scream and Lovecraft. Oh, I was so freaked out. Yes, yes. And I started saying like, no, none of this is real. But I was like, of course, because you're going by the rules they have set. It's the organic matrix, man. There, I could start a rival church to Evan talking about the organic matrix. I should have been there for the I should have been there for Evan's big event. That would have been glorious. I could have told him about the organic matrix. Considering the shit that people believe, I'll tell you what I could have done. If I was an artist in any way, I'd have been able to sketch it down, because some of those creatures looked fucking terrifying. And there was no sky, everything was like biomass. Oh. Yes. That's why I like Evan's. Evan's religion is less of a religion, more of a philosophy when you think about it. And I like that, because a philosophy is something tangible. You can hold it. But it promises something more than tangibility without magic. I mean, you could argue that the technology is nowhere near there yet, but it could be one day, and that's a huge difference from any religion. Alright, now see here. This is where I can spice this shit up. I'm actually gonna go to this. No. How do you get out of Super Cruise again? How do you get out of Super Cruise? I forget which button you press to get out of Super Cruise.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage.
Nope. Oh, throttle up engine.
4, 3.
Shit, you can cause your ship to explode. Alright, the next time I see an unidentified signal, I will drop in. Sometimes they're traps by pirates, other times they're nice bits of cargo. If humanity keeps going on this up and up one. Yeah, absolutely. It could go down that way. Okay, so where I need to go? Wait, what the? Did I? Oh shit, I didn't set my goddamn... Okay, here I am. So I want to get... Oh, right. They're really next to... They're close to each other, so... When I say close, they're like millions of miles apart. That's the galaxy for you. I mean, just look at this universe, right? Look at this galaxy. This is just one galaxy. You can actually see other galaxies in the background. Out of all these galaxies, out of all these planets, out of all the life on Earth, we were the ones that God picked. No, I don't fucking think so. I'd like to think that in our galaxy there are other life and they're not monsters. Well, technically it's Sagittarius, but yeah, the Milky Way. I always like the layout of R1. It's very aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, you can travel to Earth. There's Arcturus, which plays a big role in Mass Effect, if I remember right. But where is Sol? There's Sol. Historic system famous both birthplace humanity and the political capital Federation. Very expensive and prestigious system to live in. Yeah, that's true. For all we know, we're the most advanced alien race. That's a scary thought, isn't it? All the major corporations have their headquarters on Mars. Terraform 2286, which is the main administration. Also, the amount of characters in the last message, there was 1111. Ooh, fuck, man. Friend forever, Evan LaFave. I love how he starts every live stream with going. He's bouncing up and down his chair. If the world were to collapse, like if all technology were to shut down tomorrow, he'd still be all right, and that's actually very comforting because I think he's earned it. Probably start a farm like a somewhere or a little tiny community. Absolutely. I mean, there has to be other life out there. I had this idea for a sort of spin on the idea of alien invasions, where aliens show up and they have really advanced technology, but they don't know how to fight, and we're so violent that we just overpower them, steal their technology, and just go to war to conquer the galaxy. And it's kind of like how Warhammer or that evil version of Star Trek goes, where the aliens, you know, they've been around for centuries, but they're stagnant. And they don't know how to handle tactics and like really advanced technology related to war because they consider it to be wasteful. Yeah, pretty much. Like they don't have like their idea of warfare, if they even some races that have it are it's like really ritualized and very simplistic. Meanwhile, we've got like armies in the billions and like spaceships bombarding planets, and we're just invading everywhere, and they have no comprehension of like genocide. Why would you kill off another race? The universe is big enough for everyone. Nope. We just slaughter them. It's more likely if we ever do run across aliens who are more advanced than us, they can take care of themselves. I even like the idea that aliens are from like different dimensions. I remember that was on the Drunken Peasants not too long. Oh, it was a while back now. Christ, seasons change, time passes by. But this is going to take a while. 3 hours. But the idea of like an alien being caught, I think it was like a puppet or some shit like that, and it was just it was this terrible video. It was great to point and laugh at, but it was meant to be this interview with aliens, and it was just, oh, it was so stupid. Alright, remember what I said before? So I'm actually going to pause, go to the options, go to controls, and find just how do you get out of Super Cruise. No. Oh, for God's sake. Shit. No. Doesn't have a, Chop Topper, do you know how to get out a super cruise without going to a station? Because I want to check out this unidentified signal, but other than maybe fucking over my ship and causing like damage, I don't know how to get out of super cruise unless it's like to my destination. The music in this game is a little bit on the downside. Or better yet, actually, never mind, because I can select it. Degraded emissions detected. Nice. Jesus, my speed just skyrockets. Look at that. Phew! Okay. Uh-oh, I think somebody might have beat me to it. Yeah, this game, I know these, will there be more updates for ED? I actually don't know. I know not too long ago, I think, like, what, November, they released an update. I haven't, or DLC. I know it always gets patched, so the servers are still alive and well. But I honestly couldn't tell you what, honestly couldn't tell you what the future of this game is. Just tap Y. Well, I'll give it a go, but I'll give it a go, but there's no need now because I have this set as my destination. I have a feeling that I'm gonna need like a special scanner or some shit like that. Who's this? That's moving, so I guarantee you that's. The thing I like best about this game is that I haven't even cracked the surface, and I've been playing this for ages now. And I could spend the entire game just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth from one place to another. And I really like that, because I've always liked the idea of being like a trucker. I'm a big fan of Euro Trucker. I used to like a lot of those trading games back in the day. Long before I knew what half they meant, half the things meant. I loved playing City Trader, which was a Monte Cristo game, if you ever remember Monte Cristo, the studio. And I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I just bought everything, the money ran out, and then I was like, why am I so poor? Well, probably because I love travel so much. I love games like this where you can just go from A to B. If I could, I'd make money on my travels. Who knows, maybe if I ever become successful enough to have like Patreon and shit like that, I can do live streams and people can pay for my shit. You could be immortal playing this game and still be playing beyond 2 years. It would, and as you're an immortal, that is both a very long time and not a long time at all. Immortality, baby. And here we go. I've got one gun. my best hope in this game is yeah, especially if you were aware of Alright, I haven't done this in a while. How do you scan? I've got a basic scanner. I don't have any sort of advanced one. I made way to get my wait, proximity? Functions. No. Scanning is... What's this? Oh, cool. I don't look around the ship enough. This, of course, is designed also for VR mode. I think they should... Whoa. Alright, I like that. I like that for one reason. In Euro Trucker, there's no body. When you look down, you just see the cabin. This, at least, you can see, you know, it's a person. Yeah, with the scanner equipped. Fuck. Well, it looks like I don't think I'd have much in the way of like, yeah. Is there something not combat that's more efficient? Well, the long hauls until you can upgrade your ship are where the real money's at. But don't forget, you can also scan for minerals. You can be a salvager, where you just look for online stuff. And you can also... what is it? You can also get mining. You can become like a miner. Fuck it. There's no point me being here. I'm just wasting time. One thing I think this game really does need is an experience system to get like bonuses. Not like game-breaking bonuses, but something along the lines of I best retract my my weapons. They won't be happy when I show up in system with my gun out. Next time I play this game, I'll look at the tutorial to see how to take out my scanner. Oh, also, Chop Topper. Don't forget, you can also become a ferry service. You can bring people from point A to point B. I don't know how the money's doing there, but that's a cool little feature. Look at that. I think you need to just have enough space for one person, and you can bring one person. It would definitely spice up the game. Maybe that should be like sandbox mode.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1.
I mean, like, say you found a way to cost fuel intake, or you get special rates. Maybe you have access to really cool modifications that other people don't. I know that's the reputation system to a degree, but you can see how long it's going to take to get like a really good reputation system. Also, I think the next thing I'm going to do is upgrade my ship's super cruise, my frameshift drive, because I can afford the next tier up. I just like, yeah, it's clearly like all this is done for VR, the way you can look at this shit. I think they just need to make it a little bit more human, because although even this just adds something that Euro Truck or Farming Simulator doesn't add, it's still not like you. I can never imagine leaving this ship. That's one key thing. You don't feel like your character gets out and stretches his legs. That's, I hate to say it, but that's something that No Man's Sky at least did a little bit better. You could hop off your ship. They did a shit job of it, but at least they could do it. Even if it just cuts to pre-done cutscenes, like, say, like you go to the bar or you go to a bounty office. Instead, it's all done via these text scroll things, which, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Obviously, I'm playing it, so I must like it, but they could add something. We need something. Yeah, even if it's like pre-made, like and then walking on. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to interact with other players, but I have an idea what I'm going to play on Wednesday. It'll be a little bit more entertaining than this, I guarantee you. I saw it for sale on Steam. No spoils. Yeah. Like I said, the old Wing Commander games had like the pre-made cutscenes, and it looked like parts of Babylon 5 or DS9. They felt alive. I think they needed more alien races, but it really did feel like you were doing something. X Beyond the Frontier had something very similar to that, but that was a very bare budget game. Great game though. Zudov survey. Zudov. You Zudov. Yeah, I definitely need to upgrade my Super Cruise. Alright, I think I'm gonna do 5 more missions. And then, I'm going to call it. But that's a long time off yet. Well. And in the process, I need to get enough money together to get the upgrade for the Super Cruise. My ship eventually will be too overpowered, and everything will shut down the second I leave dock. So yeah, I mean, look at this. Like, this is taking forever. I mean, it's cool. I can chat to you. I'm not just immediately looking like like that, but you know. I can do better. I also got a strategy game, a very old Paradox strategy game called Knight of Honor. And I'd like to give that a go at some point. Maybe before the end of the week I'll do that. That's not the game I'm going to play on Wednesday. But I do love Paradox Studios stuff. Especially back when it was Paradox Interactive. Or is it Paradox Interactive now and it used to be called Studios? I forget which. Point is, they make good strategy games. And I enjoy it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it really is. But hey, look what it was made, like 2000... Christ, when was it made? 800C. Oh, well, I'm on Super Cruise now, but Hyper Jump is when you go from when you go from system to system. This is just all the stuff inside said system. I think you're going like a fraction of the speed that the hyper jump constitutes as. I might be wrong. The important thing is one's a cutscene and the other isn't. That's entirely just a loading screen whenever you go from system to system. But hey, Mass Effect did that, and X Beyond the Frontier kind of did that when you went inside the warp gates. How whenever you leave a town in a fantasy game and it goes to the world map, that's really just a loading screen in a way. I do love how a lot of loading screens are being phased out. I think that's pretty cool. But you need to have a powerful engine running that for big games, otherwise you're fucked. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be arriving at Sudov Survey in approximately 2 minutes. Please make sure your baggage is stowed in an overhead compartment, and please pull up your trays. A flight attendant will be around shortly to pick up any trash or belongings you wish to discard. The local time is 4:20. Actually, for the record, Chop Topper, if you want to make some money slightly differently, you can become like a shuttle service where you just become an airplane. You can buy like space yachts and do that. I would loop around it at least time. I can do that. That happens to me a few times. It's happened to me a few times on this, where I've just been like, whoa, too fast, too fast. It's always at the end. I always get greedy. And I'm like, come on, come on. Well, cats are assholes, and they know to use their power of being a cat to get more food off you. I do love big, chunky cats, but I also feel sorry that they've gotten that fat. I knew a girl who bred cats for like show cats, and these things were colossal. Like one was as big as my torso, and I thought it was all just fur. No, no, these things were just massive, and they had the run of the house. There was like 6 of them. She was a bit of a cat lady, that one. She won awards though, and I think he got like 5 grand every time she won, so I'm not judging. They were cute cats. I'm probably getting a cat next year, actually. Need to come up with a really cool name. If I'm still doing this, I'm gonna have like a straw poll to decide on the cat's name. I was thinking of naming it after like a dictator or maybe a board game.
Incoming mission critical message.
Ooh! I don't know, man. We'll find out probably on Friday or something. Commander, we have contact in P&O system. Make some important data that needs passing. Okay. Okay, why not? So, not counting this one. So, that's 5, 4, 3, 2. It kind of reminds me, from the screenshots I've seen, it kind of reminds me of a very bare bones version of the Total War games, where you have the over campaign map, and then armies would move, and when they'd clash, they'd go into like a game mechanic. I'll tell you a game that doesn't get anywhere near as much love, but was so popular for a short period of time that it used to be compared to Age of Kings. Cossacks. Do you ever play Cossacks? Particularly the first iteration of Cossacks, and all the DLC and expansions that came out from that. Well, not a DLC, but the expansion packs. The sequels were shit. Just pure shit. The UI was terrible. Oh, yeah, it's all set in like just before the French Revolution, all the way back to say the late 1400s. So it's kind of the era of pike and shot. You know, you've got the Age of Discovery and the wars in the Balkans with the Ottoman Empire, the Protestant Reformation and the 30 Years' War, and it wasn't an amazing game, but you could have at the time up to 5,000 people on screen at once. And if you look at screenshots, that's like a realistic depiction, like those huge blocks of infantry. You can build them and send them out, and it would just look glorious if you could pull it off right. It would also like talk about things that you didn't normally get to hear about, like say Sweden's invasion of the Ukraine, or the Huguenot Rebellion. You know, the whole Three Musketeers era of France. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Yep. There's one circling. But it's cool. If I ever can get it up and running. But I always remember, I thought this was so ballsy of it. On the back of the box, it says, "Move over, Age of Kings, there's a new kid on the block." And I was like, whoa. 10, 12-year-old me. Nowadays, when you run it on a modern computer, it is so fast. Like, everything moves so fast that it's hard to keep up. Yeah, it was fighting words. It was very bare bones. The company that did it had next to no money. In fact, they couldn't even properly translate it into English a lot of times. So you'd have these weird English terms out there. Which makes it good, but it makes it fun. There's also no there's no voice acting. It's all done via text and sound effects. But there was like little things, like you can need a constant supply of food, or else your people will start starving. Like they'll just drop dead on the screen. If you run out of gold, your army revolts. If you run out of coal, your army can't use guns. It's just. And the ships, oh, these things were massive. I even played it online for a while with my friend. We were in a Game Spy, if you remember that. Early 2000s, flushing back to me. Ugh. I'm so old. Right.
Docking request granted.
You know, eventually, what I find really sad, this game, when no one's playing it, it's going to be taken off the servers, and you won't be able to play it anymore. It'll become ghostware, and that's kind of sucky. Because No Man's Sky isn't going to be Ghostware.
Landing gear deployed.
I mean, by that point, you'll probably have to play this on your damn phone. You probably already can, to a degree.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright, I don't need to go into the hangar for this. Eventually, yeah, I mean, no game lasts forever. It could be kept up by fans, but they need to pump a lot of their own money into it. Eventually, just when no one's playing it anymore, this game is just going to be shut down, and because it's an online game, you're going to have to, you know, you're going to end up losing it, which sucks so badly. Oh, look at all that money. Ooh, I make a bit of money and then immediately I get an incoming message. Wow. What are the chances? Let's see, what do they want? Ah, cool. Space is very loud, isn't it? That's a lot of space wind out there. Yeah, they need to keep this shit alive. I mean, Elite Dangerous 2 could turn out to be a total bomb, and everything that the fans like is gone. If that happens, which there's no reason why it couldn't happen. Space wind. I remember that The Simpsons making fun of an old 1950s idea of like a sci-fi, and the rocket ship gets broken open, and the captain goes, "Oh no, space air is getting in! Everyone, quick, put on your goggles!" And they put on their goggles, and they're like, and the space monster is just a dog in alien antennae. They just wheel down. The dog looks really scared and doesn't know what's going on. I love those old sort of Pulp Fiction era ones. I saw a lot of them on Mystery Science Theater back in the day. Big love to MST. And riff tracks too. Big.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Come on. Okay. Weird way of doing it, but fair enough.
Landing gear retracted.
Yeah, if you can find that clip, it's just hilarious. Space air. But I did love them, like original Flash Gordon and a lot of the early stuff that come out of Japan after the war. Half of them are anime now, but whoa. I feel sorry for anyone who plays this on VR that has motion sickness. Because imagine this on VR. Damn. Then again, imagine this while you're stoned. Like, you have a joint and then you just do this. It's like being back in the 70s and you go into the planetarium while high.
Frameshift drive charging.
I think on LSD it would definitely look so much, yeah. Just fly right into a sun. Oh man, this is so cool. I think on LSD this game would be like really, really. Wait, Nav? Don't tell me I did it again. No. No. Oh, fuck off! I am not doing a mission. Oh, that might require me to learn a new command. I don't care if I lose respect. I'm fucking off. There's someone there who wants me to follow them, but I don't. Like, how do you respond? Like,
Frameshift drive charging.
I'll probably play this down the line again, but this time as like a bounty hunter. As if we ever needed your respect, Chaos Gamer. We just need your views. Who's we? all of us working.
Mission critical message.
Okay, cool. God, there's enough space stations in this place, huh? Don't worry. We're being used by YouTube, so it's okay. And YouTube's being used by Google, and Google's being used by the Illumiscati. All hail the Kaiser! But have no fear. All of these people will be brushed aside in the new wave of Evanism that's sweeping the nation. You know what I'd love? I would love if 60 Minutes did a interview with Evan. I mean, Doug Walker got an interview with 60 Minutes. TJ was on CNN. Can't Evan be at one point on it? Ooh, you got reviewed, Chaos Gamer. I'm glad to see that you're keeping. I'm glad to see you're keeping that tradition going. Oh shit! I was meant to change that. Sorry, man. I'll do that after. I'll do that after the fact. After this, I'll go into the settings and just start fiddling around and see about changing the settings. Because that's annoying, and if we ever get like a big crowd in here, I want them, so long as they're not assholes, to speak their minds. Oh, your last message got held for review, but I do recall I promised that I would change that. I would just, I'd fiddle around with it so people can talk a bit more openly. Alright, alright. Nope. Okay. Still, event like I'd gladly just have like some asshole talking randomly. Not you, but like in the future. I don't care. Eventually, I'll want to get like a mod or even two. You're a mod on Evan. You'd probably be a good mod. 5, 4, but yeah. I think, what was it? I think, wait, what the fuck?
Frameshift drive charging.
My head's all over the place, sorry about that. I was like, why is this taking so long? Yeah. Or if it's just outright, like, insulting for the sake of being insulting. Like, you can actually tell the intent through the chat, which is not an easy feat. You can't be serious. And we still have to go. We do. How much further of this do we have to go? Christ. I want to get to my star system now. There we are. Yeah, I'd probably send you like a... Like right now, it's easy enough for me to just like look at the review and all that shit. But if this were to ever get like... If we ever get a spammer, which if I leave an open door policy, we're going to get a spammer at some point. There's no way around it. Which, like I said a while back, I don't care. It just shows that people are at least paying some level of attention to me. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, don't. Yes, I still have to jump.
Frameshift drive charging.
Gotta remember to do that. I don't think we have 2 months time allowed on YouTube. 3, 2, 1, engage. Ugh, itchy. That's fair enough. You gotta do you, man. I don't even have a really fixed set time. Some days I won't even be able to do a stream on Wednesdays because I might be going out that night, or some weeks, you know, I won't even be here. I'll be someplace else. So yeah, you can't base your shit around me. Well, I in many ways can do whatever I want, because I've got a lot of free time, but you know, you then gotta fill it up. You gotta find something to fill it up. And as you can tell, it can be a bit of a struggle for me to find time to fill it up. I know. Poor Evan. What is his job? Did I remember hearing right that he's like a caretaker or some shit like that? What the fuck is this? Oh no, no, don't tell me I've been fucking over this whole thing. Transactions. Chris Bambant. Deliver data. Oh, I don't believe this. That mission I've been trying to go to over and over and over again is the guy I passed by. I thought I had like 2 missions in the same sector, so I just... Ugh.
Frameshift drive charging.
I've wasted a shit ton of fuel. Good thing I've got a big fuel tank. I've got a big old tank, if you know what I mean. Well, I'm wrapping up now anyway, so... I think I have enough to get a, Oh my god, it's Voyager! I always wondered what the fuck Voyager was doing, and the opening credits, what Voyager was doing so near that star. It looked like Paris was just trying to show off. Look, I can go underneath a solar flare. Whee! I'm such a geek sometimes. Yeah, I think I saw Evan say that he was a caretaker or something. I mean, he doesn't make any money from YouTube as far as I can tell, so... Demona.
Frameshift drive charging.
I have to admit, for somebody who never gets out of his chair, this guy is very well... This guy is very well made. He is just perfectly fit in this bodysuit. Here we go. Now. Yeah. Alright. Maybe he is. Maybe in the future... well, actually, that wouldn't be a terrible idea to have your long-haul cargo people in space being cyborgs, because it must have a terrible wear and tear on the body. So maybe he is a cyborg.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's the nav beacon I was meant to go. That confused me. I went like 3 stations away. Alright, before I go there, I want to get to the orbital here, so I can buy some shit. Maybe I should have done it in reverse. Okay, let's hear it, man. Let's hear it. I'm all ears. Well, let's see. If I replace 100% of my body with technology, am I a cyborg or am I an android? Well, an android is a robot that is designed to look humanoid, I do believe. And a cyborg is sort of like a half-human, half... Well, a human that's been augmented doesn't have to be half. I think you would still so you have literally no biology left in you. Your brain has been completely scanned and put on a robotic equivalency. A positronic brain. Yeah. Yeah. So, is that what you're saying? Like, there's literally nothing left of you, biologically speaking? Because if that's the case, then you would be you would become an android, or just an out-and-out robot at that point. But yes, of course. But I think that opens up a more important question. Are you still you, or are you just a copy of the original personality of your brain? It's sort of like if you die and you come back in a clone body. Are you just a clone that thinks you're you? This is the perfect background for this sort of conversation. Actually, that looks pretty cool. It looks like the old sci-fi logo. Oh, that's pretty. That's true. If you, yeah, if you haven't technically died. So I say you're an android at that point. So, you've technically crossed over. Yeah. What's that bad but kind of cool Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, like The Fifth Day or whatever?
Peterson, Lima, Oscar, Whiskey. This is Federal Flight Control. You are required to submit a docking request before landing.
Ooh. Gold State Exchange. Call you Android 17. Well, fair enough. Though I would have probably gone with was Android 16 or 15 the big guy who could fire shit out of his hands? Because if I had to be either one of them, I'd be him. But if I had to be any of them, I'd be him. Because the rest of them look dorky, and 18's a woman, so yeah, that's the one. I like birds. Quest talking.
Okay, Commander. Make your way to landing pad 19er.
Am I going to kill Son Goku now? She does. And it'd be fun to play with. Definitely be fun to play with. But then you'd be expected to use it, and I don't like the idea of Krillin fucking me. Just, he let's say he's on top of you, his head would just reach your boobs. And it would just... it just wouldn't... It would not be something I'd be able to get behind. I just had an image in my head.
2,000 meters from touchdown.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Although I guarantee you, if they keep on making new Dragon Balls, there's going to be another android that's going to be called Android Zero or some shit like that. I mean, technically, it all goes back to the original Dragon Ball, and there was Android 8 or 8er, and he was just Frankenstein. So if there was an 8, then there must be ones way sooner. Is Android 21 the bipolar chick who loves to eat people? Yeah, that's the one.
Power down systems.
She's got the sort of nerd vibe, the hot librarian vibe thing going on. I have not watched a new Dragon Ball at all since that movie about Frieza coming back. Which isn't so long ago, but when I saw it, there was this character who was like this space cop who didn't believe anything was going on. Like, I knew who Beerus was and Whist from the memes about him. But it was just, I've clearly been out of the loop so long, I don't know if it's worth getting back in. And now there's a bunch of new Saiyans, there's like these girls, and I'm guessing they're somebody's kids. It's just, it's like, you know, Superman's the last Kryptonian except for Supergirl, and then the alternate reality versions, and then I think he's got a cousin somewhere. Like, at that point, you're just there like, he's clearly not the last of anything. Oh, and don't forget also, there was, Broly. Wait, you haven't watched that in, since the Cell games. Oh, so you never saw the Majin Buu shit? That got cool. That got brutal. I'm surprised they kept some of the more brutal shit on TV on Cartoon Network. Majin Buu at one point jumps inside this guy's mouth and he just starts expanding and he explodes. I thought oh no, yeah, I'm not here for the missions, I'm here for the outfitting. Right. Perfect. Yeah, I think that was the last one I watched. No, I watched that and then I watched Dragon Ball GT and oh, I think that finally did it for me. I think I was done. I was like a teenager. At that point I was more interested in more American cartoons like, you know, Family Guy and South Park and shit like that. Although I was watching them as well. But anime wise, I suppose I was still watching not Ghost in the Shell, Gundam, an Outlaw Star. That was fucking cool. Psst. Okay. Buying options. Exchange. That did not sound good. Probably because it increased my power draw. I know, which is good. Because the only good thing about that, the only good thing at all about that was the opening theme, which was really fun. Do 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 do. Wait, hold on, was that it? Yeah. Do 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 do. No, that's not it. Damn, what's the Dragon Ball? Na 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 na. Na 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 da 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 na 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 na. Copyright strike. Yeah, there we are. I get copyright striked. And also buy these as well. God, my in-game chat is just going absolutely crazy. It just keeps bringing up the same message over and over again, like it's trying to... I'm getting your messages. I can see your messages. It's just... it's not working. Anyway. I think that's all I need from here. Probably because it's so gimped that you can just keep saying more numbers over it. Every single time you think that I can't get any better, it gets better. 10 times 20. What? No, come on, that's not fair. I like the Kamehameha. I think the best design had to be Piccolo's. Did he have the Gallic gun, or was that Frieza? Or was just... Oh, I love Abridged. I love Team 4 Star so goddamn much. I haven't watched much of their Hellsing, and I haven't watched much of their Yu-Gi-Oh! There, that's it. Special Beam Cannon. I love the look of that.
Docking clamps retracted. Observe station regulations on exit.
Sure thing, baby. I know how to have a good time. No, that's not what I... Whee! Just fly right into a wall.
Landing gear retracted.
Alright. I'm gonna go and,
Do you have authorization to be inside the docking bay?
yes. Yes, I do. It's alright. I think Frieza's overused a little bit these days. Like a lot of anime that go on for decades, they tend to just bring back villains so much. I remember, what was... Oh, God. Ultimate Muscle did that. Where the villains would become friends. And I suppose also Inuyasha did that as well. A lot of anime would do that. That's actually a trope, I think, of anime, where the bad guys end up becoming your friends. Oh, it might actually help if I have the right... Right. Yeah. God, it's behind this planet here.
Frameshift drive.
Oh, look at that! Look how it is noticeably faster.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I'll need to get better fuel supply for this. Shit! Stay away from the planet. The planet is bad. Planets equal bad. Yeah, I mean, have you ever even seen a planet? I haven't. Actually, imagine if a flat earther were to play this game. It would just blow their fucking mind. I was talking earlier just before you arrived. Yeah, I wish you could as well. That'd be a cool little feature. Maybe have like a smaller ship or a landing vehicle, like the Mako out of Mass Effect 1, and it lands and you just drive about. But yeah, I was talking about like flat earthers and incels earlier. I learned some interesting things about incels yesterday. Now, while I agree with you there, Chaos Gamer, do not forget that was a double negative. You have a thesaurus and a dictionary. You should use it. Let's say they're ignorant fuckwits. How about that? They're ignorant fuckwits. Because the information is in front of them and they immediately deny it. And they're fuckwits because their response is, well, down the retarded rabbit hole they go. I actually might, after this, go and watch a bit of Armored Skeptic talking about flat earthers. I've probably seen the same videos again and again, but it just, I don't know, it makes me feel... probably actually it doesn't. I was probably not saying it right, knowing how I am. But I do think variety in language is always good, especially if you can get 2 insults, because, you know, stupid morons, that is kind of the same thing, but a fuckwit is a little bit more varied, you know? Yeah, the flat earthers or the creationists, or that he recently did a thing on that guy who is like an animated puppet, like a cartoon puppet, and he talks about this sort of the Thayans and shit like that. Yeah, the important thing is you got your point across. You are no fan of flat earthers, which is a pretty low bar, let's be honest here. You know, I think most people can... I know most people here in Ireland, when they hear of a flat earther, they think that, oh, you mean those people who who used to exist centuries ago, or what? No, they're not. They're a joke. They're a joke. No, there are people who generally believe it. I like that. Yeah, I like that armored skeptic thing where he's listening to that video about like how the universe was created and talking about David Icke and that one guy who lives out in California who is meant to have seen all this shit, but oh no, the tablets were lost. What a shock. Yeah. I once met a guy. I don't think he was a flat earther, but he didn't quite understand the science. He was at a bar. He's like he was an immigrant from like Kenya. Very, very cool guy. And he didn't know how the I was just thinking about this a few days ago. This was years ago when I talked to him. He didn't know how the rocket ships looked different. Like when it left when the module went back to the moon, back to the orbiter before heading back home to Earth. He didn't know how it looked. How come it headed off in this direction, but then came down in this direction? And I was like, alright, so your problem is that you don't know why, for example, you can't see the shuttle leaving, or a rocket leaving our atmosphere. We just see it getting smaller and smaller. And he's like, yeah, well, it must happen. He believed what must happen is that it kind of just started to arc around. I was like, well, there is obviously a little bit of an arc. You can see that. But what happens is eventually it just gets too far away for us to see. You can see it with like a powerful telescope, I'm guessing, but it's tiny. It'll just get smaller and smaller as it goes further and further away. I don't think he was dumb, he just didn't know the science. That's why he wanted me to explain it to him. And I was like, well, alright, I'm not a scientist, but it's very straightforward. Like, when you're looking... If the moon was directly above us, and we jumped... Let's say we had the power to jump from the moon, from the Earth to the moon. And we, from our feet, jumped up from Earth. We would land face first onto the moon, because at one point we start becoming more pulled in towards the atmosphere, the pull of the moon. He didn't understand that, like, you know, if the moon's up there, quote quote, when we'd land, we'd be in an entirely different position. But he wasn't an asshole about it. He just really didn't see how it worked. I was like, look, I can tell you the exact formulas, like the exact geometrical way of this happens. But what's happening is just like you jumping, not so much up there as in out there. Yeah. Like, I was probably getting the wording wrong and all this shit, but you know, he never understood that. So he started to take equally seriously the No. But this guy wasn't an asshole. He was just genuinely curious. And I don't think he was a flat earther, but he held it in the same sort of idea, because he could at least grasp flat earth a little bit better. As he said, he didn't even finish, like, primary school, which is our elementary schools here. He apparently was doing alright for himself financially, so cool. But he clearly just... like, I think just a trip to a planetarium would have fixed him right up. And that's all he needed. Or hell, even just like one of those midday 90s TV documentaries for the planets. Then that's all he needed. But then there are other people who are like, no, but how come when you see ships on the horizon and they get smaller and smaller away? Like, what, is this some sort of conspiracy theory? Big globe is out to get you. what do you think about conspiracy theories? Do you hold any sort of unpopular beliefs? Oh God, yeah. You can't. You have to be a skeptic. You have to agitate, and you have to be. I think I'm too far away. No, I'm ready. You have to ask questions. You can't just take everything they say seriously. That's why all the Trump tards are getting pissed off at Trump, because he's going to war in Syria? No. Really? I didn't see this one coming. Did you see this one coming? Yes. Because it's the same with criticizing that which you love. Maybe not in like criticizing might not be the best term, but you analyze it, critically analyze it for something that you really love. If it's still good at the end of it, then it's earned your trust. The same with governments. If you can go and analyze what a government says, and look beyond it, and look at why they might be doing it, and still come to the conclusion that what they're doing is for the betterment of you, and betterment of everyone, well, maybe they are worth your time, but there's a good chance you're going to look at them and very quickly see some problems in what they're saying. It's just, what they're saying, doesn't match up with the actual facts. But, you know, facts are almost subjective at this stage. You know, people want to believe what they believe. Of course, now we're getting back into religion when you think about it. Absolutely. A true skeptic always fact checks. Yeah. Which is fine, although it... Oh god, this is taking a while. There we are. Yeah, they make a conclusion and then they try to make the facts fit, even when they don't. That's where we're getting flat earthers from. That's where we're getting inverted earthers from. That's where we're getting anti-vaxxers. Oh, it doesn't seem right that you put a bit of the disease inside you. Well, obviously, when you say it like that, no, it doesn't. Until you realize it's a weakened form of that disease that your body's gonna be remembering. Oh, but it causes autism. No, it doesn't cause autism. It can't cause autism. That almost triggered me right there, because I had this brief online flirting thing that never went anywhere with a doctor. And we friended each other on Facebook afterwards. And one thing she loves to do is show how stupid anti-vaxxers are. Yeah, exactly. But, like, some of the stuff she posts up, most of which are coming from parents. You're just there like, you shouldn't have been allowed to breed. And some of these people have ears of people who then go on to run for president. Could you imagine, America's healthcare system's bad enough as it is. Could you imagine if an anti-vaxxer had, say... It reminds me of the health minister for South Africa. He once said that you can cure HIV and AIDS by eating more beetroot. Which isn't even a metaphor. He really thought by eating more beetroot it would cause it. Or even G-Man talking about B17? You need more B17, even though no country outside of America even recognizes that as a vitamin. It is an unpopular opinion, and I can see the logic in it. But that can open up a floodgate of just... no. Instead, I don't think we're anywhere near that draconian measure yet. I do think, though, that we do need to have a different form of education. Actually, I'm actually going to stop this sort of conversation while I'm gaming. Because as you might notice, this is called Low Energy Rambles and not Low Energy Gaming. I would love to eventually just be on a chat, like a lot of people do, and just talking about this shit. Just pure talking about the shit. Maybe opening up a window to bring up an article or some fucking shit like that. Because that was my original thing, just to game and also to chat. Because, you know, as you can tell, my channel is kind of all about everything. I'm now reviewing food, I travel, I game, I've given tours of my surrounding area. I think I just need a little bit more of an audience in chat. That's it. But this is a sort of topic that I would absolutely love to talk about. Because I'm kind of all over the place in politics and like social contracts and things like that. I believe I'm very liberal in some ways and very conservative in others, and in other ones I'm in the middle of the road just flipping everybody off. You can get some food reviewers memes. Damn right. Well, I am planning, if I have the money for it, I am planning on doing something on Wednesday. That's gonna be pretty cool. Well, not pretty cool, it's gonna be pretty basic. It's just a video I'm gonna post up. Let's call it an unboxing, and it's gonna involve around food. But next month I'll have like a tasting again of the beers. So, but oh yeah. The fact that we even have to say classic liberal, Jesus Christ, because, you know, down the path of a modern day liberal leads to the era of the SJW. But I don't also want to go down that path. Part of me doesn't want to go down the sort of political path, because eventually I'm going to get into these shouting matches with people online, and it's just going to turn into Bloodsports Mini. Which, sure, I'm going to get the views, I might even make some money off it, but I don't want to do that. Because I'm no expert, I just know what I like, I know what I dislike. But whatever. That's something that could be way on down the line, or it could be next month. I don't fucking know. Point is, I had more fun playing this than I expected. So... And I have to remember also, more people watch this in the future than watch it while live. So, to you in the future, hi. I hope you've had a great time. Hope you've had a great time too, Chaos Gamer. And on the off chance he's still watching, that chop person. It's always good to see a new face in the chat. If you've liked what you saw, remember to like it. If you didn't like what you saw, remember to dislike it. Comments are much. Feedback right now is my biggest friend. Any sort of feedback, not just criticism, but any sort of like chatting in the chat. But chatting in the chat, where else would you fucking chat? But I will make another video on Wednesday and put it up, and then I'm going to do a live stream of a game I have in the back of my mind to see what price it is. If not, I'll probably play Knights of Honor. Just for a little bit. Just to see what it's like. Kind of like Reigns, Her Majesty. By the way, I could have gotten the other Reigns as well. I had enough money to get that. Fuck, I could have gotten both Reigns. That deal's finished now, so fuck me. Anyway. I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm going to go and fiddle around with my settings on YouTube. And then I'm going to go and zone out on another game while watching some YouTube of my own. So, hope you have a fantastic day. And I will see you again next time. Bye!